Remember that scene in Big Lebowski where he throws the joint out, but it comes back in his car?
Uh-huh.
I did that, and I had on his. I've retired him his favorite pants, but they used to be right up in there. And then I had a Hawaiian shirt that I really liked, and I threw the end of the joint out and enjoying listening to music and shit. I didn't even know that I was later on. I saw a burn hole in my shirt that went into my pants. Like I had a small
you
fire going.
you burned
Now
through layers.
I'm not saying I was impaired in driving, but I would like to think that as a driver you would notice a small bonfire.
Till I hit. Wait till I hit record. God damn it. Hi guys. Happy Father's Day, not you, Shaylee.
Yeah.
Or me.
Well, we don't know.
I don't have
Maybe.
any fucking kids for real.
Actually, yeah.
I just raised
Chad's the only
other
one who knows
people's
for
kids.
sure.
Yeah, there should be a day for you too. Sucker's Day.
364 of them.
I try not to think about that part of it.
Proper.
I try to think about how good I felt when I found out that I actually didn't pollute the fucking world with my tainted seed.
It did. It didn't seem like it was that. Do you remember getting gifts for Father's Day way back, Brett? Like, you know, when you were like a young father and shit.
No.
It
really.
seems like it just kind of got to be a thing over the last few years.
What?
I mean, I don't remember
My kids always give me gifts for Father's Day growing up. Well, Jenny did.
It's kind of bullshit because Mother's Day is this big lead up and it's this national thing, and then Father's Day it's like dads and grads.
Yeah,
we don't even get
lumped
it. You
in.
know? Yeah, and it could be grad from anything. You know,
Wait.
you can first grade grad.
Happy Father's Day and Flag Day. Oh, thanks, honey.
yeah. It's like the whole thing starts because of our inability to pull out.
You could have coupled it with Toilet Day.
Yeah,
That'd be sending a message.
So I once described having kids as the only mistake that you can make that you can later claim to be proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, you go through a lull.
I meant to do that. I mean, that's all right. I didn't accidentally do that at all.
Well, fucking fourth. What are we in the fourth month of quarantine?
Starting fourth month.
Yeah, huh? It's all blending together, sort of.
It's not. It's so weird to hear everybody talk about this whenever I literally have not changed my life one bit.
Yeah, I changed by going. I mean, I don't. I don't go to talk to people up close. I mean, I didn't like doing that anyway, but now it's like kind of cool. I've always liked skirting along the side of things and not really making physical or eye contact with anybody. So it's kind of
like looking for cameras, though, Andy.
Yeah, I did.
Let's be honest.
I did something pretty shifty here that saved me a little dough, and I won't be. Anyway, you know how a lot of places that sell paint, a lot of people go, "Hey, you mix this up wrong," and I can't use this. It's a slightly different tint of brown than I envisioned.
Yeah.
And then they'll take it back, and it'll be $15 for the mismatch.
They'll resell it. They'll say they'll put they'll have the thumbprint of the color on top, and they'll go, look, this is a $45 a gallon bucket of paint that has a custom color, but you get it for like $13. Yeah, it's a good deal when you're gonna paint something you don't care about.
So I've been trolling those because I'm getting different oil stains. You know, this one place has them in the back. This mismatch, and then I realized for a Sharpie pen, I could probably lower the cost of the whole fucking lot of this stuff.
Wait, you don't even have to pay for the Sharpie pen. You can just go to where they sell Sharpie pens at the Ace Hardware
Yeah.
and use the pen, right?
Yeah. Well, let's just say that's what happened. let's just say there was a gallon of something I was getting that was $100 a gallon, and I'm like, I'm just short a pint, but let's just go ahead and discount it with a mismatch, mismix. And yeah, I did that. I got my baseball mitt that way, and I don't think I've really done a whole lot of that. Maybe I've done a lot of it, but I forget a lot of them. But this one was beautiful. When I was a kid, I went and this is a Mother's Day story. But I saw a baseball mitt I really wanted, and I still have it. It's Bill Maddock. Is that his name, Brett? Bill Maddock. He's the guy who was in prison, played for the Pirates. Well, one of the guys and went to prison.
Bill Matlock.
Matlock.
Matlock,
yeah, so,
with the D. Matlock.
Yeah, I can't say his name, but I've had his mitt since like 5th grade. and I went to a Western Auto, and they had mitts, and this one was $45. I remember it's $45. There's no fucking way I'm getting a $45 mitt back in those days. And but I was gonna, I could get that $5 blue mitt. So then I just peeled the sticker off and stuck it on the other mitt. And I was too afraid to go, pull that stunt myself. So I got my mom in there, and I said, "Hey, Mom, would you give me this mitt?"
You made your mom an accessory?
Yeah, she unwittingly went and bought it for me. No problem. She bought, so I was like, I couldn't believe it worked too. I was on the other side waiting for my mom to get busted.
I tell you, I've actually seen pictures of you in your baseball uniform, and I'm pretty sure you should have just gone with the blue mitt.
Yeah.
It seems like that would have accessorized what you were going for. A lot better than Mad Dog Madlock.
We had these. I don't even know if they couldn't have even been my brothers, but they were like old baseball wool pants, like the kind of shit that like Stanhope might find in a thrift store and buy in bulk or whatever. But I was playing Little League, and I had these wool pants I decided to wear, the official like fucking 1950 baseball pants that were passed down from generation to generation in my family.
Like baggy at the bottom.
They were extremely tight, but they were wool, like fucking wool. And they looked stupid, and I wore those. Everybody else was wearing whatever, shorts or whatever, and I'm wearing these fucking throwback baseball pants, and couldn't even move in them. They were too fucking tight. I don't know. It was all about showing up and shocking my teammates with outrageous outfits, I guess.
And now you know why Ty Cobb was so pissed off all the time. It's not that he was an asshole racist. It's that his wool uniform had him all sweaty and clammy and angry.
Yeah. That's why he had to. Wasn't he the guy? Well, I think there's stories of him filing cleats, right? Like he'd slide into people.
Yeah. Only the blacks. I guess I'm sure that's not true. They didn't allow blacks to play in the game.
They didn't even let blacks play that.
No, they didn't.
He cleated blacks in his off time.
Yeah.
Wow. What was he so pissed about? It was,
I don't know. He's an angry guy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an angry game.
Yeah, a lot of time spent standing around getting pissed off about stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of time to think.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
Hey, what did that guy go to prison for?
I don't know. I think he was in prison, then played baseball in the major leagues afterwards. Really? I think I don't know.
Cubs. So I remember him from being a Cubs player, but I don't remember him going to prison. I'll look it up.
I can look it up. I thought you.
All right, I'll do it.
Knew it.
Did you watch that 30 for 30 on the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire?
No.
Oh.
I don't have regular television.
I went to a Cubs game that year that the home run between Sosa and McGuire, 98. I took my daughter to a game.
The home run derby or something?
Yeah. Like I went to an early season game that was rained out, and it was a fucking dismal shitty day, and my daughter, you know, it's like, oh, we're in Wrigley Field and it's fucking bitter cold and fog and no base. No, there's Terry Mulholland ducked out of the dugout, and that was the highlight of the day there. And I got my daughter a sip. This is how young she was. I got a sippy cup, Cubs sippy cup, and then put her juice in it. I probably didn't even clean it out that well. I just dumped the juice in there, and then the game's called. It's fucking freezing cold, and we linger in there a little while, taking some pictures, and then she dropped her sippy cup and broke it. And it's like, all right, I fucking had it. And then I went in and I got a new one for it. I went in and, you know, I was like, just get it. It's like, you know, it's like way too much of a complaint. You know, like the whole day hasn't worked out. And then now the sippy cup thing. But I did get another. I was a Karen, I guess. I was a Karen. Like, get me your manager. This is bullshit. I came from Oregon, and Terry Mulholland's not even that good of a player.
So you bitched until you got a replacement sippy cup for one that you
She just was
dropped?
balling. Well, she was balling, and that was it. I mean, it was like, God damn it, I got, you know, it's like a miserable day. There's not going to be a game, and I was leaving Chicago, so I can't even, you know, go for another game. So that was it. And the highlight of the trip was the American Girl doll store where they refused service to my daughter's monkey, you know. So it's like kind of a fucking, you know, dismal situation there at the Cubs game. And then
maybe that's why you're not getting Father's Day gifts.
Yeah.
Well, I got big cookies this year.
Yeah.
Well, now.
She sent my wife got this big giant basket that she can't even see, you know. It's like hanging flowers. You can't even, it's like a 50-pound hanging basket. What do you think that we have that can support that much weight on a fucking wall? Or, you know, I don't have that kind of a hook power. So it's just sitting out there, and I got to remember to water it every couple of days or it'll die out there. Nobody sees it but me.
A cookie basket you have to water?
No, that's what
I think Andy took edibles too early today.
Yeah.
I didn't follow that at all.
I think I need edibles.
Well, maybe those cookies were edibles. I don't know. Maybe she finally figured out what I really want. Big giant cookie, salted caramel with wheat.
Sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got big fucking cookies, and I can use those. You know, you don't have to.
All I get these days is text messages now. I haven't got anything for quite a while for Father's Day. You just get a text message.
Yeah, I got a phone call, and I said, "Is this in lieu of a Facebook tribute?" And she said, "You haven't even seen it, asshole."
Yep, that's your daughter.
Yeah. She said she left a sarcastic message, and I let it go to voicemail just so I could hear the sarcastic message.
Mm-hmm.
But it was along the lines of, "How come you're not in church?"
Oh, nice.
Yeah, how come you're not in church?
She's not choosing up sides, is she?
Yeah.
No, well, she's not.
Only on Sundays.
Yeah, she still wants Christmas presents.
Yeah.
All it takes is one more vote, and Christmas is done.
You're like the John Roberts of the Christmas vote. You're the swing vote. You've got power.
Don't underestimate the vote of one.
Oh man, that cookie might be quid pro quo. Trying to sway the vote.
Hey. I got a package in the mail. It was a big, you know, like poster size or sign size thing. So I was like, this is my first gift here since issues with Andy started going. I got a flag a while back, and then I got this. So I was like, I don't know who it was from. I still don't know who it's from, but you guys ready for this? It's fucking beautiful, and it made me very happy. And it'll make everybody happy, of course.
Back it up. Oh, shit.
At first, it looked like he was really there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's giant Gary Busey head.
Oh, yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. I haven't
giving you kind of the side eye, too. He's kind of giving you the, I don't think you belong at this point of the line, Mr.
Yeah,
Andrews.
that's it.
Yeah,
Back of the line. Look, if I ever saw it.
Yeah.
hey, go on
Did I
back.
already talked to you about lines once?
Keep going. Go on, keep going. Yeah. It's like you can tell by the picture too, Gary was like either not involved with production or gave little fucks about how he looked in the
That's
picture.
what it should look like.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a thing I thought was a big scratch on it. It turns out it's just a really long eyebrow hair twisting around down his
So they didn't do any of the airbrushing they should have done before they sent that to print. So they just left
I mean, where do you
as is.
start? I mean, look
Yeah,
at
I
this
guess
thing.
so.
Jeez, guys,
Yeah.
really nothing I can do here.
Yeah. You want us to
Photoshop's not gonna help.
you want us to whiten those teeth a little, Gary?
It's the only the picture, Andy, that you showed, which that's awesome. Someone sent you that. That's the only picture I think I've ever seen with Gary Busey with his teeth not showing.
Yeah.
It's
horse teeth.
I think I thought it would be phicically impossible to like have
It's probably his DMV photo.
I'd like to think he actually carries that around with him and offers that up when cops need to see his license. Like, is this you? And then he pulls out the big head. Yeah, here I am.
Well, when I get I'm up on the second deck up there. There's nobody down there who's gonna, but if there's any trouble down there or the revolution's going, I can stay safe and just wave my big Gary Busey head from the upper deck.
Oh yeah. Have them be able to see that, and then they'll don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah, they won't know what I stand for, but they won't bother me neither.
But he's got a guest.
That's just what I was telling you at those music festivals. That's how you find your friends. Like, you put Gary Busey on a giant stick, and then no matter where you are in the show, it's like, oh, Andy's over there. He's under the Busey head.
You will be the landmark for everyone else to find what they
meet at the
go
Busey
to Gary
head.
Busey and turn left.
If we ever get the world reestablished and they have game day here, I can show up Saturday morning with a giant Gary Busey head. Of course, you're going to put me on the TV or Gary Busey.
What you do is you get the other side of the head to be the picture Shaylee's got behind him, so that then you can just spin it back and forth. Depending on how the game's going or how the festival's going, what your mood is. Kind of a mood Busey.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mood ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't see the teeth, that's when they're most dangerous.
It's about to bite you. Be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes me think of Sean Rouse there, that open mouth.
He was just in Impractical Jokers was on in here, and they had him come in as like a cameo. Like they're in New York, and the bit is one of the guys is behind the counter, and he's supposed to throw water on whoever like is standing at the counter ordering something. So like one of the Impractical Jokers is behind the counter at the coffee shop, and a customer comes up and he throws water on him in front of another customer, and you're like, the fuck? And then there's like some stupid reason, but then out of the blue, they don't tell anyone. They bring Gary Busey storming in and throws water on like Sal, and it's like just seeing that face come at you, and like that would be scary enough. But then they throw a bunch of water, and like, I told you. And like,
when he came after me, I kept social distancing was not a thing back then, but I stayed about 6 feet away the whole time. And then I got into the very back when everything seemed calmed down, at least on Gary's end. And then he goes, "Now, doesn't that feel good?" And then that was as close as we got. And that was about 4 feet. Like, fuck
close
it.
enough.
I'll leave the party if that's what Gary wishes, I'll just double back around and he won't, It must be tough to have a head wound and be a referee for everybody. It's like, I was respectful of him like I would anybody with a reputation for being fucking insane and having a head wound.
Yeah. I think he give him the same berth you would give a bear, like in the wild. Like, look, but just keep your distance.
Yeah. Like if Brandon
eating out of the garbage can right now, but don't get too close to him. If he spots you,
don't rattle him.
Yeah.
It's the same concept why my bags are the only ones Andy won't go through looking for drugs.
I look to find some to put in your bag.
I'll share them with you.
It's like a hotel room safe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Andy and I shared a hotel room in Vegas, we had the middle drawer was just a drug drawer. People gave us drugs, we just threw them in that drawer and shared them. It was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Andy, every drawer is considered a drug drawer. He just has to look harder.
I'm starting a tackle box. That's what I'm gonna do. It's like, if somebody gives me something, I'll put it in the tackle box. If I don't use it, then I'll just, eventually somebody will use it, and I'll go trade you for one of them. They got a tackle box. But,
then he goes in the tackle box. Split shot. Don't need those. We'll put the
see,
the
there's gonna
animal in
be
there.
For trout.
Bobbers.
What am I
don't
doing
need
with
bobbers.
when everything collapses, that's one of the first things that's going to be hard to find is pharmaceuticals. So therefore, I'm going to have wealth and power in this new life.
So wait, so your doomsday prepping consists of hoarding Vicodin?
Oxy, methadone,
Whatever.
Gotcha.
I just don't think
Zippies.
you're good at saving, Andy. I think you're good at collecting. I don't think you're good at hoarding.
Right. Well, what is it? What do you say? What do you say? I may or may not have gotten a gift in the mail there.
Well,
I remember, okay, this is off subject here and the same subject. My brother Larry, one time in front of his grandkid, he got his pill and then he crushed it. It was like watching the scene in A Star is Born where he just crushes the pill with his boot. Well, Larry, I don't know what Larry used to smash it, but it was some kitchen object. He smashed a couple of pills up and snorted them and in front of Caden, his grandson, and he goes, and then I looked at it, I go, Jesus, Larry, and he goes, he's like snorting right in front of the kid. He's like a fifth grader, whatever.
So what was it like? Like cholesterol?
No, it was a pain. It was pain meds.
Oh, it was a pain. Okay.
He's blasting his pain. I think he blasted,
Cilantro.
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Snort your Lexapro? What's happening?
Well, I don't think Larry experiences depression like people who aren't amped full of drugs.
I don't think he really knows how to take a pill, take it.
Absolutely.
Follow the directions.
Well, he said in front of the grandkid, he goes, "That's just how Grandpa takes his medicine." Yeah, and it's like it diffused the whole thing for me because it was like it was kind of the elephant in the room when he's doing a rail in front of the kid.
I can't swallow pills. It's all right.
Yeah. I have a
what
condition.
I have to do.
Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those things that as a grandson, probably just all right. Fine, like you don't think twice about that until many years later. You're like, oh shit, that's what Grandpa was.
Yeah,
that's what was going on there.
Well, this is bad. Well, I mean, this will make me sound creepy, but there was a short time. And this is where the timeline of Provenza's movie seemed different to me. And
it's like possible.
Yeah, so I had this idea. Is what if we did a reenactment scene? We get like James Caan to be Steve, the molester, and then get my nephew's kid, Caden, to play me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like he was the same age as when I was getting molested, like a 6th, 7th grader, and have the scene. And not that he would there'd be part of it. But now he's like fucking almost graduating high school is how long we've been in production there. So it's like now you can't even do it. It's like he'd be molesting the kid now.
He's probably already gotten molested by now.
Yeah, he's
real
probably
life.
working on his own movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of. He does TikTok videos. So
oh, perfect.
I don't think he'd do TikToks if he'd been molested. I think he'd go Facebook Live.
There's a whole protocol.
Yeah, well, I think TikTok involved. Oh, and how about what TikTok pulled on
TikToks are too short. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That was
what they
great.
did?
Yeah, they fucking. We won't get political, but TikTok got and baited this comic who did a show in Tulsa, and then they baited this comic into thinking he was going to have a huge audience. And when he got there wasn't much of a crowd at all.
Yeah, he was only 993,000 off.
Early on, when all this started, Christine Levine had tweeted that she had reserved tickets to be there just to take up space too. And I was like, that's fucking pretty smart, because that dude will fall for it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now you're never going to be able to trust the numbers going out for a show. Like, oh man. But yeah, it's like it was like the estimate for COVID deaths was nothing compared to this mess up. Oh, yeah. It's like, I feel bad for him. He still did his show, right? But I think he was getting ready to record a whole new hour.
He's
like, fuck that,
He's not running his hour. He's slowly walking it down a ramp, gingerly.
Yeah.
He was Jackie Mason doing a fucking Catskills set in 2010.
Did you see the video of him getting back to the White House? There's a clip of him last night getting off of the helicopter. His ties wrapped around his hat in his hand, and he's just like, bleh. And you talk about a comic getting back from a shitty road gig. Like, that's exactly what I felt like.
Well, he's probably yelling at someone the whole time.
Well, and it's one of those things where, you're exhausted. You're wondering why you're even doing this for a living. But it is a good idea to go home after the show. Don't stay at the hotel. Because what's sadder than making that walk is waking up there the next day. And then you're like, oh shit, I'm still in this shitty town. Now I get to drive in this.
It wasn't a dream.
You're sitting there at the Tulsa fucking Days Inn at breakfast. Hey, dude. Hey, man. Sorry, I loved your show last night.
I thought you were funny.
I thought you were great, man. I can't believe nobody showed up.
My wife will make you breakfast. You want to come over? Don't eat here. Let's go to my house.
Let's go. I thought you were going to be over here, man. Aren't you staying next door? Yeah, I hear the breakfast is better over here at Days, so I came over here. Got it. I knew you'd be over here skulking a free breakfast, Mr. Trump. You want to go do some lines? Yeah, no, I felt like for the first time, I really felt a little sympathy for the guy. It's like, I know what it's like to be all drug-addled after a show in Tulsa and have, nothing but negative feelings about everything and no place to go.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Did you see that one shot of the crowd? There's like two guys that yawn in the short, but it's just like extended yawns where you're like not sure if their top of their head's just gonna come off and fall down on the floor. Not because they're thinking, just because it's time and it's fucking about time the head just falls off. It's like one too many.
It definitely had the feel of one of those times where like you're going to see a band and you think this band is great and you've always wanted to see this band, and then you get there and you realize Kansas has only had 2 hit songs and they already played them both, and now you got to stand there and watch the rest of the show, and you're like, oh, my standing on this concrete and my feet hurt, my back hurts, and I worked today.
Carry on, my wayward son again.
They opened with it, they played it in the middle, and they played it as their encore.
I would not complain if I was a fan of a band that had only 2 hits and you got roped somehow into being there. Yeah.
Remember when?
There's a Simpsons episode when they the Homer Palooza episode where he goes on the road with the Lollapalooza guy. I think that's it. But BTO is playing, and Homer is yelling at BTO to get to the chorus of the Taking Care of Business. They're singing Taking Care of Business, and he's yelling at them to get to the other part of the song.
It's so fucking. It's so weird how that song. That song is the song that me and Mike Reef sang as a duet in Mr. Haver's class, Taking Care of Business. So every time that one comes on, I know all the words to it because that was the only fucking thing I learned directly from Mr. Havers. Indirectly, I learned how to French kiss
from Tony.
Through Mr.
It was a girl.
Yeah, with an I.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tony with an I.
Of
Doesn't matter.
course, an I.
I only say it not because it's to cast any.
Tony bought all my, and Tony now is the proud owner of all my baseball cards from the fucking early '90s. Why was I still buying them then? The fuck was?
I don't know. Maybe something happened to you in your adolescence that made you stuck in that adolescent era. Yeah, maybe.
In a way, I've always been collecting men. Why don't I have any WNBA action cards or any? I don't have a single chick on any of my sports cards, but I don't have them anymore. I unburden myself of stupid shit. I want to get rid of everything. I get rid of everything, and then myself included.
whoever buys the last item from Andy, gets Andy with it.
Yeah.
One time I to his new rope.
One time I did a garage sale after a show in Appleton. I was working with Doug, and I had man shows. I brought a bunch of old man show shit, and then I had Juggy pictures, and I faked autographs on them. And but I had a toaster. One of the items was a toaster. I wrote with a Sharpie mismatch, $15. No, I wrote $5 or free if you kill yourself with it. And somebody goes, somebody had it tucked under, and I go, $5, and they go, nope. And I go, okay, enjoy. So it's like, you get the last item at my estate sale, and I'm, you get to turn out the lights.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be a surprise because most of the time the estate sale is happening because that person is already dead. So like these people will come to your estate sale and they'll be like talking to you, not knowing who you are. And they'll be like, oh, when did the guy die? And he's like, oh, it'll be tomorrow, about 2:30, I think.
Yeah. See that tree over there?
Yeah. Everything must go, including that rope, but that's not available till tomorrow. You'll have to come back for it. Yeah. Yeah, that tarp, cut the rope and the tarp's under the tree. Call the number. It's all good.
Just leave the body. The squirrels will get it.
Yeah. Yeah, those fuckers are fun.
Are they listening? Just blink your eyes if you need to be rescued.
Andy's afraid.
I was watching them last night on I had a little bit of drugs, and just fun drugs, and I was watching them, and they were way up in the cedar tree, going around in a circle, and then like fucking it's like watching two crazy it's like Jimmy Snuka, fucking they defy gravity.
Superfly?
Yeah. Well, he didn't defy gravity. He actually ruined him. Gravity caught up to the Superfly. Yeah. You can't jump off the top rope and land on anything except pillows and not have it jam up your back,
Maybe Andre the Giant. You can land on him. Maybe that would work.
He never did no aerial shit. He was all about, he was all about thumping people on the head. How could
the ring take it?
Mm-hmm. I liked when somebody would jump off the rope onto Andre the Giant. He would just catch him. And
they'd bounce off him.
Yeah, just smash him down. He could have fucking,
There he is.
Yeah.
That's a late picture of him too.
Yeah.
Not looking good. That right tit is not looking great.
That nip slip is unattractive right there.
You know what happened is
it looks like that tit is photoshopped from a different person onto that body. Like it's like they covered something else. Like
here.
They didn't even put it in the right spot.
No, that's what I mean.
I'm missing just
it at that moment, and it sloshed down this way, but it looks like they just fucked up the Photoshop job.
I'm missing the eyes in my picture, but I'm thinking, which Super Bowl did Michael Jackson perform at again? Because with the nose and shit right there, with the hair and everything, it could be like, it could be argued that was who Michael Jackson was trying to look like.
Looks a little bit like the Dirty Diana video, and had the fucking rain and the wind.
Yeah, I like those. Like there was the superstars of wrestling back in the day before they all got their bigger network, and those guys they were like strippers that come around to the club or porn stars that come and dance at the strip club. You know, you get your Superfly and your Andre the Giant would travel around like they were comics. They'd come work Portland for like
that's what the
get a feud going. It's like it was exactly like comedy. You'd go to a town, get a feud going, and leave with a few friends and a lot of enemies. People boo you. You know what pro wrestling didn't have is comment cards. I didn't care for this guy. You were dirty. I didn't care for your wrestling at all. Why didn't you leave the ring when you were counted out, bitch?
The ref told you no foreign objects, and you clearly had a foreign object.
I was sitting ringside, and not only was my seat taken, it was also used to bash Jimmy Superfly Snuka in the head, who I actually came to see.
Right. Oh, man.
Buddy Rich, you are no friend.
Yeah. My college roommate, Cookie Jarvis, was a big wrestling fan, and he told me that he realized wrestling was fake when he was in like 6th grade because it came to their high school and they went to the match, but all the guys came out of the same locker room. You couldn't, like, it dawned on him that they hate each other, and then they go right into the same locker room together. It's like something doesn't seem
you try to
right.
explain grudge fucking. No, you can still hate somebody and have homosexual sex with them. It's not even counted as gay.
In fact, my dad seems extra badass.
My dad was really into the professional wrestling and the drama of it.
Your score might differ.
My dad was pretty emotional. He'd move himself and propel himself in the wheelchair, and then he'd sit with his arms folded. But he would get real animated watching the Three Stooges and wrestling. He knew the Three Stooges was scripted. I mean, it was more scripted than, a lot of things. I think they improv'd a lot, to be honest. But he thought pro wrestling was pretty legit, I think he took it hard. He would get the pro wrestling magazines and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, and he wasn't.
That's a next level.
God, man.
Dedicated.
I was just this Father's Day, so I don't really want to diss on this. I was just going to say my dad was a pretty intelligent guy, but he was a teacher, and then he was much happier when he got fired by old lady blonde. Then he was just a fucking mindless drone at the mill. He listened to country music, read the Bible all the time, and watched pro wrestling and the Three Stooges. So I guess my dad was not
a
as
sweetheart.
He liked dousing. He liked dousing this old lady that was walking.
The
puddle, hitting the puddle with the car.
He would pull up. In his defense, she was hardy. It wasn't like a frail old lady. It was a fucking fat one.
So she could take a dirt wave.
Well, I mean, she probably died of pneumonia. When you're out in the rain and shit, you're already wet, and then some guy whose only joy in life seems to be like splash, impregnating the wife and then splashing this lady. Yeah, I don't even know why my family's a chain still.
Oh shit!
Hey, I made a little change to Superfly.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so much.
Yeah, it looks.
I think
it looks better.
It doesn't really look better.
No, I think it looks better. I think it does look better.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys I saw who was a bleeder on the pro wrestling, you look at his head older as he gets older and shit, and his head's so fucking. He's just a cutter. Yeah. That's what I did too, and I didn't realize. I thought it was in tribute to pro wrestling, but it turns out I was a really depressed kid. I'd slice my eye and then punch myself bloody, and then just go, this looks cool or whatever. It was like, to who? I'm staring at myself in a mirror. Yeah, I was a cutter. I didn't. Yeah, I thought it was because I liked the Rocky movies, but I would slice my.
But only your eyes?
It just because I was like, it was like a rest. Yeah, so it's not bleed cutting.
But it was a wrestling thing. It wasn't like a psychological thing.
It is, but yeah, it is the most adorably, like it's an adorable boy way to be a cutter instead of like cutting your arms and putting your sweater over your things. You're like cutting your face and punching yourself and jumping off the
right. Well, I like
shit.
I like I like pro wrestling, so I'd do that shit and I'd get blood on my head, and I'd probably do like a Roddy Piper in the mirror or some shit. Friday night, we're gonna settle it up, bitch. My mom's like, "What's wrong up there?" I'm like, nothing. It's just bleeding out. Leave me alone.
What are you doing up there? And who's the under Larry you keep yelling about?
This is how smart my mom was. Is one time she comes up and she goes, "Well, I just lit a joint." And back, you know how skunky weed is and was. And it was smelled of weed, skunky weed. My mom came up into my room and she goes, "I smell," and I heard her coming up the stairs, and I threw the joint out the window, and she goes, "I smell I think somebody's smoking marijuana. Are you smoking marijuana?" And I don't think so. And I go, oh. That's what I said is, I don't think so. And then, news to me, man. And then I'm like, and then I go, and then I went down looking for somebody outside or a skunk or some shit. It's like, and she bought, it's like, that was it. My room smelled like that was
outside to look for.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I did.
You gotta commit. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had to go get the joint that he threw out the window.
Yeah,
I did. Smoking weed? I don't think so. But the guy who jumped out the window was. I better go after.
Well, it's funny. Like, so you remember that scene in Big Lebowski where he throws the joint out, but it comes back in his car?
Uh-huh.
I did that, and I had on I've retired him as favorite pants, but they used to be right up in there. And then I had a Hawaiian shirt that I really liked, and I threw the end of the joint out and enjoying listening to music and shit. I didn't even know that I was later on. I saw a burn hole in my shirt that went into my pants. Like I had a small fire going.
You burned through layers?
I'm not saying I was impaired in driving, but I would like to think that as a driver, you would notice a small bonfire going on in your
open flame in your pants.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect, because if you get pulled over and the cop comes up and asks you, "Where's the fire?" You're like,
yeah. Turns
you have a legit answer.
Yeah.
Interesting you would ask that, officer.
So that's how I got in the mood of getting rid of stuff. It's like, these are very comfortable pants. And I'm thinking, I can use these for staying in the house. And I've got like 6 pairs of clothes that are all stained for staying in the house. So I can't really use them. So I'm like, fuck it. So I got home, and then I took off that shirt and I took off those pants at the garbage can and threw them in the trash, and then drove back. I mean, I only had a little ways to go up from the end of the driveway, but it was like, if I don't do it right now, it was trash day, and the garbage truck.
Whoa.
You threw your pants out on the way home?
Yeah.
At the curb? You stopped at the curb? Took your clothes off?
My garbage cans are a ways from the house. It's just like,
down the lane.
And then so I drove, and I was like, fuck it. And I got it out and I stripped, and then I got rid of them, because it was like the garbage trucks coming. I saw them coming up the hill, and I'm like, if I hang on to them, I'm going to somehow think I can fix this, They're fucking cool pants, and they're golf pants, but I don't golf. And they got a big burn hole. It looks like a fucking crooked snatch, like a fucking tweaker bitch. You damage your pussy so bad it's sideways.
Oh man!
Physically changed the shape of your pussy because you abused it.
I think that's rode hard and put up wet. I think is what I always wondered what my dad was talking about when he would say that.
That's why you gotta dry a saddle when you come out of the rain. You don't want it all clumpy.
He didn't mean saddle at all.
How come Gary Busey wasn't in Roadhouse? I don't understand Hollywood. Why wouldn't you call Gary Busey on your short list? Like, hey, we're got a movie. The whole premise of the movie is there's just a bar where people punch each other in the face.
I think that the main reason Busey didn't get a lot of work was because he thought that people on set would think they would get punched.
Yeah,
he had a reputation as kind of difficult on set. So
he had a major head trauma and almost died, and was completely batshit crazy after it happened. So I mean, I
give
think
him
it
his
all
own trailer, you know. Damn it! But you go, okay, man, this role is made for you. Randy Quaid's gonna be here. All the weird fucking assholes in Hollywood, and there you're gonna fucking fight Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. And I know. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I was just I was wondering the other day what happened to Randy Quaid, because you used to talk to him a lot on Twitter, and I was like, I haven't heard from him. And I looked, and I was like, oh, that guy went even crazier.
Yeah, we have the kind of friendship. We have the kind of friendship where you say things that amuse each other until you have to block each other. But I remember the day where that was my first. Well, there's one time where he's still alive, a Monty Python guy defended Lance Armstrong on something. I posted an anti-Lance Armstrong thing, and it was the guy who was in the European Vacation movie. But he said, I saw Lance Armstrong do this, and I said,
wait, you're telling us which Monty Python guy
it
Eric
is,
Idle. and your
Eric Idle. But Eric Idle defended Lance Armstrong, and I said, I replied to Eric Idle, I saw Clark Griswold run over a cyclist in Europe, but I still understand that it was bullshit or something like that. And then I was like, I thought it was bullshit that it was actually Eric Idle. I didn't understand how anyway, I didn't understand how that shit worked. But somehow Eric Idle was fucking reading that and felt like defending Lance Armstrong to me.
Eric Idle, or you responded to Eric Idle, and he read his responses. That's how that worked, right?
And then my other proud moment was when I saw Randy Quaid retweeted something, and then a few minutes later he followed me. I was like, oh my God, Randy Quaid is following me. No, wait, no. That ain't Dennis Quaid. Oh, wait, it's that weird
I think Dennis might be the weirder one at this point.
Yeah, he can still
He's off the fucking rails too.
Yeah, they're equally crazy, but Dennis can still pitch for fucking companies and shit.
Yeah, barely. He's had a lot of work done, and he's looking rough. Like he looks like starting to look like a Picasso, Melanie Griffith kind of face, because he's like, it's got to be 65 years old, and he's dating like this 20-something. Hot blonde girl, and together it's the creepiest, saddest, weirdest, and probably not for him, I guess, but to look at it is frightening.
Yeah. At what point
having all that money? What else are you gonna do with this?
Well, I mean, you can have the hot young girlfriend if you're a famous actor, but doing all of that work on your face eventually, comes back to haunt you, because the rest of your face falls down, and the parts they added the plastic shit to is still there, and it starts to like half your face is sliding, like the Olivia Grace's joke about
wasn't he with
an old guy and looking at their face slide off their face?
Wasn't he with Meg Ryan for years? Right?
I think
so. Put those two together. Those two together now. That should be what a bride and groom looks like on a wedding cake. Is their faces, because both of their faces are so fucking Meg Ryan's face got so fucked up she had to hang out with Mellencamp.
When
the face comes crumbling down, you go to John Cougar in Indiana Town.
When the walls cut, that was the fucking link.
I couldn't figure out what.
When the walls.
I thought
tumbling.
I thought you thought she was Kim Basinger, because didn't Kim, or however you say that, Basinger, wasn't she married to Mellencamp?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, so one of them was.
There was a celebrity pairing there.
Yeah. I already looked up the Bill Madlock thing. So I'm not looking that up. He never went to jail. Bill Madlock never went to jail. 3-time batting champion.
Dave Parker? I got to find my mitt. I still have it. I only play once in a while. This is and I stole it. I didn't even steal the mitt. We just got a discount on it. My mom, was a local celebrity. She, for a while, she worked for the newspaper, and she did a Dories around town, and she had asked people. One time she asked Lizard was in the around town. She asked Lizard, what's something Coquille could do to get young people interested? And he said, how about a concert like Night Ranger? Like, I remember reading that going, what a fucking dick. Like, fuck that guy, fuck Lizard. What a piece of shit. Like Night Ranger's gonna come play Coquille. Now you got a possibility. Now the community building, I could see it.
Do they have a casino in Coquille? That'd help.
It's a bummer. We do, but it's in Coos Bay. It's the Coquille Indian tribe, but it's set up in Coos Bay, whereas Coquille could use a casino. We could even, there's a river there. Hey, you guys want to do some fucking money laundering? Well, we need money first, but we could do a casino, riverboat casino, Coquille Indians. I'll find one. If there's one Coquille Indian around, I'll get them on board, and we'll start a riverboat, Big Jim's riverboat gambling adventure casino.
Man, it would all come together.
Yeah.
And Suicide Swim.
Suicide Swim. Oh, you have the Suicide Suite. Oh, wise choice. You're going to enjoy that for the weekend.
Yeah,
there's some chips.
Yeah, you go, and that's like the Titanic experience. You're underneath, and then it just fills up with water. Easy to retrieve the bodies. Limited damage.
So Meg Ryan and John Cougar have had a on again, off again tumultuous relationship.
Yeah.
And the
Meg
other,
Ryan?
the other,
John Cougar?
yeah, Meg, yeah.
One of those Mandela.
Just think of how many facelifts they've had in the 69 position. Like, they probably had 7 faces going at one time. Oh, yeah, Meg. Yeah, I always thought she was beautiful in her natural, beautiful days. Just that cute, Doors? Adorable cutie. And then when her face, it's like the opposite. When I saw her face from all the surgeries, I thought it was like Goldie Hawn. I was like, oh fuck, man, Goldie Hawn is really letting herself go now. I was like, wait, that's Meg Ryan. Oh man, that is that
hurts. That one hurts. If she's listening, that hurts.
Yeah, Dennis called up the fucking the plastic surgeon and said, "Hey man, you want me to come in there anymore? You better give her some clown lips." I want her to look so fucking awkward that Mellencamp moves her to Indiana.
Mellencamp's had some fucking like supermodel chicks.
Yeah. Who is this?
Priscilla Ersteline.
He's got great hair and a great catalog of fucking rockabilly.
Yeah.
That's gonna get you pussy throughout.
He's like the Indiana Bruno Mars, He's like a hip little dude with a little flop of hair, and he does his little shimmy dance, and fucking the girls love it.
He's like a John Prine for people who aren't that smart. But I do like me some Mellencamp. It's not a diss.
Yeah. Oh, we all live in the pink houses, man. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. It was John Cougar that became John Mellencamp, not John Prine. That was once John. It's not John Cougar Prine. At one point, John Cougar was ready to fucking throw it all in and become Johnny Bravo. Yeah. Here, hey, we really like your songs, but go ahead and put this little outfit on. You're John Cougar now.
Oh shit.
That's how you sell out Tulsa.
You got that right. Who else was Shaley? Who else was Mellencamp with? He was never with. I guess Kim Basinger was Alec Baldwin. Is that right?
Yeah, that was it. He was
I
with
swear
two
there was-
other like model-ish chicks.
I'll bet
There was
David Spade and John Cougar Mellencamp have bounced into each other at more than one. Like, oh, this is my ex-girlfriend. Like, David Spade and Mellencamp probably date in the same fucking bubble. It's not even a circle. It's like, hey, Dave. Hey, John.
No, Mellencamp was married to Priscilla Esterline from
No, that's
from
not who I'm
1970 to
thinking of.
81.
I guess I'm
Yeah,
just...
and then Victoria Granucci from 81 to wow, he left the one and went right into the next one from 81 to 89.
What a
And then
philanderer.
Elaine Irwin,
Yeah.
92 to 2011,
Well-
and then was at times engaged to Meg Ryan.
Yeah, what a womanizer. He's like that guy who used to install cable in Coquille. Hitting on flat cut, hitting on all the pussy. You know what? You know what always amazed me?
Wait, the
with
cable guy in Coquille got John Cougar Mellencamp level pussy in town because he was the cable guy.
Coquille pussy.
That's pretty good.
It doesn't have a lot of mileage on it, but after you drive it a while, you understand why.
No,
It's like
You
really
can't get it up over 50.
Yeah, it really is like the cars they sold around there. Just fucking standard, boring models that never fucking do anything for you. Oh, I'm sorry, Coquille ladies. A lot of you fucking anti-vax Christians. I don't mean you.
Isn't this where you pick out this one girl that you don't mean?
No.
But not
you
you,
guys
Terry.
are, yeah, not the other ones. You guys are
Yeah.
from little, small towns too. I heard a couple of years ago, I heard the term Eskimo brothers, and I didn't know what it was, and I had to look it up.
Oh yeah.
And it fucking cracked me up because I was like, well, I'm fucking Eskimo brothers with almost every dude I know that I went to school with. Fucking,
I don't remember what it is. What's that?
Where you and another dude have both had sex with the same chick, but not at the same time, just at some point.
At some point. Like you know the guy. Yeah, you're friends with the guy that is that once banged your now girlfriend.
Your girlfriend's ex is your Eskimo brother, right?
Yeah.
It's everybody.
Yeah.
Have you ever really seen? It's like, why do Eskimos like Eskimo kissing Eskimo brothers? Have you seen Inuits? Have you been up there and like?
Yeah.
They don't seem that sexual as people like.
Yeah.
They got. Is there an Inuit position? Yeah, it's frozen in a driveway. Not as much anymore because of the warming, but.
I mostly hung out with Athabascans, but same thing.
Ooh. Are those the fancy ones?
It's up in Fairbanks.
Yeah.
They're just different native tribes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Not allowed to talk about native tribes.
Careful.
I don't want to sound pro
Columbus. As far as I
Columbus.
know, I'm 125th Coquille Indiano. That's how we say it, Indiano.
You don't need to find anybody then, man. We can start the casino with you. You'll be the Indian representative of the tribe.
Well, I'm too inattentive to be a dealer. Or a boat captain, for that matter. But I like the idea of laundering money, and we could get RAO Speedwagon in there.
You can't do it exactly like the script of Ozark. You have to come up with your own plan.
All right, we'll bring in Night Ranger then. Lizard gets his wish. 50 years later, Lizard, you fucking genius.
Wow. You can still rock in America.
Yeah, is that a fucking Night Ranger?
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit, yeah. One of the first concerts I passed out at was Night Ranger. God, it was a bunch of fucking Joan Jett, Night Ranger, Quiet Riot. I passed out during Joan Jett. I woke up.
Be a great montage of you.
I would. I woke up during Quiet Riot. I probably woke up during.
Ironically,
Come on, feel the noise, and I was like, "Oh, the fuck, man!
I can feel the noise.
I don't need any more Jello."
So you were that guy because there was always that guy in your group who partied too hard before the concert started, and then when the fucking once it started, yeah,
you don't want to wake up. You don't want to wake up wearing the shirt of the band playing. How did I get this shirt? Current.
I think that's what we were talking about with posing and virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was a conversation I had with Mitchell. Never mind. I think the gummies kicked in.
I agreed because I'm high.
You remembered it. You remembered it like you were.
I was about to tell Erickson I had no fucking idea what he was talking about when Andy agreed, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm fucking high.
Maybe you forgot.
I realized it like halfway through the sentence, but realized the best plan was to push on through to the end of the sentence and then get out at that point rather than stopping in the middle. That would have sounded even stupid.
You don't get them as much anymore because people don't do that anymore. And Stanhope used to work in the business, but I was a sucker for anybody who'd call up and bother me. And I don't even like phone calls. And I could have just let off with that. Instead, I would listen just enough to change phone service or whatever. It's like, God damn it, you do make a good point, and I can't argue with. That's why I won't let the Jehovah's Witnesses around me because like that will make sense.
Easily persuaded.
And she could use some of my comedy bits against me to go, remember that about Jesus being a carpenter? Well, they believe that too. Did they make it sound funny like with the band? Like that's how I did it. Like Jesus was a carpenter and not in the band. Like that or the Joe, because I think the Jovies have some of my premises, but I don't think they put punchlines to them. And it could be argued neither have I.
So it's another thing we have in common.
Parallel thinking.
Yeah. If they like weed cookies, I might just hear them out.
Andy, I do have to say, yes, I know we're getting near the end of the episode here, but we did your screening yesterday.
Oh,
in the Funhouse.
Right on. Look at that. That's great.
Very. It's a great.
Everybody looks tense. This is the Trump war room.
It's like if you watch the special, it really is a companion to this podcast. There's you'll connect a lot of dots. It's great. There's a lot in there that you'll be richer for knowing the podcast. And vice versa.
I agree. I agree with Shaylee. You should split all the profits with us.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah. Like Kathy Peterson won tickets to the Final Four. Like shit, we're all equal shares on this. Yeah.
It was really good. I'm excited.
I was really. I mean, I heard Doug. I mean, I saw Doug called, but by then I was on some drugs that you don't want to. It's like I'm. But I was really glad to hear Doug say that he liked it because I was like, I'm older than him, but for some reason he's taken on the role of like the wise elder of the troop.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
That's because I'm like, I don't want that role. Fuck that shit. Wise elder.
What you passed it up, Andy? Is that what it was?
Wise elder.
They handed you the crown. And you said, "Not for me, gents. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go over here by the trash can and take off my clothes before the garbage man gets here."
I consider wise elder to be the guy who grabs the flag when it gets dropped in a battle scene. And goes, I'll carry the flag. No, you want your machine gun in battle, you dumb fuck. The last thing you want to do is fucking carry the flag. Hey, look at me. It's like sail.
Yeah, but Andy, if you were on the other side shooting at the guys, wouldn't you shoot a guy with a rifle before you'd shoot a guy with a flag?
No, I'd laugh when I shot the guy with the flag, and then I would like, look at this dumb son.
Yeah, I'm with Andy.
I'd shoot the two guys with the rifles and savor it. It's like, Oh, okay. Now it's just the flag guy. I'm gonna let him get all the way up here, and you know what? I'm gonna save a bullet and just stab him. Yeah, just cut him in the belly, or But here's the thing: when it comes to wartime situation, I'm gonna be on my deck smoking weed, snorting whatever, eat whatever. I'm not gonna commit to anything, but I will commit to having a Gary Busey big head and saying, "Fuck it, man. If this come and get me, motherfuckers." I know. I don't know. I need a better pantry before I can really declare that I can fucking take on this thing. But
you mean tackle box?
Put up his
yeah. That's what I mean. But having a giant Gary Busey head is the start of a good tackle box, and I'm not sure why. It's like I could just stop somewhere. Yeah, I could stop in Fresno and put Gary Busey head, and somebody would be like, "Hey, man, do you want to do some meth?" Like, no, but I'll take it to Bakersfield and trade it for some Oxy.
It's like that deal show where you start with one thing and you trade your way up to all the money or the house.
Yeah.
No, there was a reality show where they did that.
Oh, yeah. Where you start with a paperclip, you end up with a house.
Yeah. You keep making deals, and
I got an idea for a reality show. It's like you get a camera crew on me and all of my family when we hear Larry dies, and then it's a great race to go steal Larry's drugs. It's like my nephew's not going to get the better of me twice.
And he keeps a ditch bag by the gate or next to the car, ready to go.
I know this is going to make me seem even older than I am, but it's like the plot of Mad World.
Yeah.
Like everybody, there's a bunch of different groups that are all like traveling to get to the big prize, and you got to get to the trailer, and then they got to climb through all the shit.
Well, that's what happened when he was on his deathbed. And
Jonathan Winters is with you. You guys are in like an old convertible or something.
Is Jack Elam in there somewhere?
I'm sure of it.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah. Waking me in the lazy boy. Going, hey, young man.
There you go.
It all comes full circle,
Mm-hmm.
I still think I'm that kid asleep in. Oh yeah, go ahead, Chad.
I was going to tell you, I looked up Jack Elam because I was like, I know who Andy's talking about. He's from my hometown. So
really?
It does
shit?
Yeah,
wow.
It does come full circle.
Yeah, he was an accountant who, and I don't know, maybe he was like tired of being an accountant, but anyway, he jammed a pencil in his eye, and then he got a weird fucking eye, and then he became a regular as a fucking extra at Westerns.
Yeah.
Like shit, man.
I think we talked about this once.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Because he moved to.
I can never remember anymore if we really did. I just thought we talked about something. I talked to Hennigan and Mitchell about.
He moved to Oregon in his later years. Yeah. And he woke me up when I was asleep in a lazy boy chair at my job. Right. I was like, I didn't have anything.
You were selling furniture.
I wasn't a salesman. I was a delivery guy. So I would like sleep a lot of the times because I was hungover. I was like, fuck, man. So like a dude to put on that shirt.
Damn it. All right. We're going to go over and finish it off on the other side. So, right? I think that's a good idea. I got a hard out today at 2:15, so
get it.
I should do that. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Right.
Right on. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, I don't know. This seems like a sort of a soft ending, so maybe this isn't a big screaming endorsement to come over to our Patreon and join us for the after show wind down. But that's what we're gonna go do. So
I beg to differ. I just found a picture of Jack Elam, and I think we can start this right back up where we're leaving off right here.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Maybe you guys got it.
Find out what happens when you chip Jack Elam's tile delivered in a freezer.
Great fucking cliffhanger.
That is not a good advertisement for the Patreon because as Erickson already said, we already talked about this.
We did it. You could just go back and listen to the episode 6.
I'm going to go get my notes.
It's actually easier to just keep listening to this one. So, that's what we'll offer you. You won't have to go back and listen to our old episodes because we'll redo them for you. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.